All right, so we're going now. Okay, so what is? Give me the. Okay, so I've got my BMW folder, and I'll open it up here. These are the applications I have installed. Talk me through what each one is.
IMPA is basically mainly your diagnosis program. It can also be used for limited amounts of coding, like coding your injectors. It can also be used for coding a battery. However, I don't like using that for coding a battery. I like using the next one, Tool 32. Tool 32 is basically contains various jobs that you can run and send to various modules. One of them being that battery registration. You can reset your adaptations for your engine and your transmission through Tool 32. So then also NCS Expert is your coding application. Has anything to do with coding. And then WinKFP is your software flashing tool. So if your module needs a particular update, you can use WinKFP to flash it. However, I would caution you with that. You want to stay away from flashing your navigation, your amp, your Bluetooth module, your telephone module, anything that's on a fiber optic bus. You don't really want to use WinKFP with a KD cable. However, if you obtain an ICOM, you can safely flash those aforementioned modules as long as you have a really good power supply to keep the battery from going dead.
Cool.
The most sensitive one for those is your navigation. For that one, you need a 70 amp battery charger.
70? 70?
70. That is what
wow.
That's what the dealerships use. You just need to have a continuous, fresh power supplied to the battery, because once it falls to a certain voltage, the flash will fail, and then your navigation will be stuck in bootloader mode. And the only way to get out of that is doing it the right way.
Bummer. Okay. All right. So, first things first?
First things first. Go ahead and hook up the cable to the car and then the laptop.
Okay.
Always try to remember to hook it up to the same port so your driver configurations won't change. So once you got the cable hooked up, you go ahead and insert the key into the slot. Prefer not to use do not use comfort access. More or anything, it's just a good habit of not using comfort access. So once you put the key in the slot, go ahead and push the start and stop button until all the lights on the cluster come on. At this point, you should be able to open up IMPA.
Okay.
Usually you'll get 2 green dots. Sometimes it doesn't work. It's a lag. Sometimes it doesn't. So in any case, to do a test, just go ahead and go to E90. From here, all at this point you will need to do is just click on functional jobs. Click OK, that's normal. Looks like it's going to work. So in here, we just click on the UIF button, F3. Once here, all your modules should show up. There we go, so we're working. And that's what I use as just a quick connection test.
Okay.
And so from here, close this out because you can't have this and any of the other programs running at the same time.
Okay.
Yep. Alright, so now we're clear to open up NCS Expert. Alright. So here you should have, go to File, Load Profile, should have 2. So CN coding is the profile you use just for all your standard coding. So if you want to go in here and change light settings around, you would use that profile.
Okay.
Expert mode is the mode that you use to default code a module. So if you just totally screw something up and you need to go in here and just reset it back to the factory settings based on your the VO for the vehicle, you would use expert mode. So for what we're going to do right now, we'll go ahead and click the scene coding profile, so click OK. I want to double click the Alright, so here, just F1, F3.
So I'm going to hit this right now.
Yep. F1, then F3.
Okay. And what did that do? What did we just select there? F2. What is that?
All I know is we're just stepping through the buttons.
Okay.
I'm not that big of an expert to tell you what all that stuff
means.
Okay.
And then F3.
Yep. So once we get here, you'll click E89 because E89 covers all of E90. Did you do E89?
Yeah, I hit E89, but I'll do it again. Whoops.
And you may have to close out and go back in.
Okay.
Click that. Okay. F1. F3. Okay, let's close NCS out and go back in.
So just close it out altogether?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I know why. Because my power went off?
No. Yeah, your car went to sleep, so. Sometimes you may have to take the key out and then put it back in.
Yes, it's working correctly. Okay. Alright, so back to this again. We're going to go File, Load Profile, CNC, F1, F3, E90, E89 I meant. Chassis is faulty.
Okay, JB4?
No.
No?
No. They don't make JB4 for the diesel.
Oh, that's right.
The only thing that's possibly going on here is they had a problem with the diesel, the body, the style here. Choose ECU. Did I push the wrong button? No. Oh, that was right. Let's see.
Okay. You try it again. I don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it is either.
Okay, close that. Close NCS out altogether. Okay, let's go look at the cable driver. Make sure that it's still set up and get ready to go.
The cable driver.
Device manager.
Okay.
Actually, if you just right click on the start button, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's like all the way up to the top. Well, yeah.
Device manager.
COM port. Double click on that. Go to port settings.
Oops.
Advanced. No. COM 1. Latency 1. Okay. That's good. And the driver should be fine. Close. Alright, so here's the other trick that I do when this happens is
So this is kind of not a normal thing, but it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay.
So normally what I have people do is I have them disconnect from the laptop, disconnect from the car, turn the car all the way off with the key out, start the process all over again. Because sometimes when the car goes to sleep, it just cuts off communication. Okay. So what I think what I have now is the cable is just dead.
Okay.
So I'll just unplug from both locations.
It probably is. Yeah, it is. There's nothing there. Okay.
So I will do that.
Unplug this as well.
Yeah, I'll unplug that. And then we'll just do this.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Key first, or what's your order?
It doesn't necessarily really matter what order.
Okay. I'm in there. I'm in there.
Alright, so now we'll try to open NCS export back up.
Okay.
And then go through that process and we should be good.
Load profile.
do me a favor. Go to your C drive. Go to your NCS Expert folder. And let's go to the DETN folder.
C, NCS Expert.
DETN folder. E89's in there.
There's nothing in there.
Okay, so change that to E89.
This right here?
Yeah. That's my bad. When I installed it, I think I installed it from a folder that said light. So just E89. And okay, now it's fixed, and now you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Okay.
So now it'll work.
Alright.
Let's go back to NCS Expert.
Low profile.
Repetition's the key, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So now once this screen comes up, all it's going to do is just read the VO from one of these modules. So if you're not doing any kind of VO work, you can...
What's VO work? What are you talking about?
It's a vehicle order. It just lists all the different options that your car had when it came from the factory.
Okay.
So as long as the VO matches between the CAS and FRM, it doesn't matter which one you select here. And just for reference, FRM and NFRM are one and the same. I don't know why they're listed twice on here. So.
Okay.
So for all intents and purposes, go ahead and click the CAS module.
Okay.
Once this happens, you'll see your VIN and your VO data come up right there.
Okay.
Now, it's not your entire VO, and I can show you where to read that here in a minute. Actually, while we're on the screen and the buttons there, I can go ahead and show you. So,
okay.
If you go ahead and click on the VOVA or FA folder or button, E89 again, your VIN's already there.
Okay.
Just go ahead and click OK. This is your entire VO listing. So if you had to do any kind of VO modifications for whatever retrofit or something you did, you would come in here and you would either add or delete it based on whatever you needed to do, and then you would click OK and press on. But
okay.
We'll cover that later. All right, so still on the same screen.
Does this button do anything that we need to know right now, or at all?
No.
Okay.
So we're still on the same screen we were on before. So all you have to do here is click on the F6 button, the back button. And here's where the fun begins. So that I can show you the thing I was talking about earlier, where there's going to be a slight variation in the way you handle things. I'll go ahead and have you open up that particular module.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and do F4, so we'll go process ECU.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and do your navigation. We'll put some stuff on your nav. So go back up, and it's called CIC.
CIC.
Yep, so select that and click OK. OK again. And we got to do F4 again, where it says reading FCU or ECU. It's kind of misnomer. I don't know why it's called that.
Okay.
All right, so right here is the Net2Dat screen or window. Right now it means absolutely nothing, so you can go ahead and just close it. And at this point, if you go to your NCS Expert folder again.
On the C drive?
Mm-hmm. And then under NCS Expert, there's a folder called Work. Open it up. These are all where all the files are generated whenever you're working with NCS. So right now you have a fsw psw.trc. That's your trace file from the navigation of CIC. So if you were to open that up with Notepad.
Dang. Open with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. You can actually modify your settings here if you know what you need to change a particular value to. You can do it here, save it as a .man file, and then skip using the BMW coding tool. I don't prefer doing it this way just because, you know, And I'll show you why here in a minute. There's a translation feature in the tool itself. So that's what this file looks like. So you can go ahead and actually close it now.
Okay.
Minimize that because we're going to have to come right back to it. So go back to your applications. Is there a BMW coding tool in there?
No.
No. Did I give you the? I gave you the files, right? Is there a BMW coding tool folder on your C drive?
If there is, I'd be surprised because I thought I put all of that stuff there.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. You're right.
All right. So.
Okay, so I need to grab. I don't need that one, right?
No.
Okay, so I'll just create a link here. Create shortcut.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll go ahead and run that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've had this open.
Okay. So now you're gonna we're gonna open up the chassis. So the only one to be in there right now, I think, is Z89. Yeah. All right. So now you actually need to go back to NCS Expert and look at one more bit of data. And you'll see right here where it says CSC C1 Alpha.
Yep.
That's the file we're going to need to open up in the BMW coding tool.
Okay. So file open? No.
Nope. Click that drop down next to the chassis.
Okay.
Scroll down until you find that file.
CICM C1 Alpha, right?
C1 Alpha, yep. It's going to take it a second. All right. So now there's a couple different sequences here.
Okay.
The first one is load trace file, load TRC file.
Okay.
Okay. And that loaded your entire trace file into the app.
So we pulled a trace file. We read a trace file out of when we looked at the navigation. We looked at it. It pulled the whole thing. Then now we're pulling it in to BMW coding tool, and now we're going to make changes to that coding tool, to the code that we pulled down in the trace, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So there, I believe once you click on show values, it'll actually come up with an error. Okay. So if you ever see this error, what you have to do is click OK, scroll all the way down to the bottom. All those values highlighted in red, we're going to have to go back to that trace file and delete those values.
Okay.
So we'll go back to the trace file.
Not that one, darn it. And this was an NCS Expert, right?
NCS Expert worked. The .trc file.
That one?
Mm-hmm. So now you'd scroll all the way down to the bottom.
And they're all in this order, though. Okay. Oops.
Yeah, you're supposed to be outside.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay. HPF audio profile, yep. And yep.
I think you're going to go all the way up to color, not color switch.
Arabic. Arabic is that one. So just hit delete.
Yep.
Okay, deleting. And let's see, make sure.
So
Right. Make sure I'm on, don't have a free line there. Okay, and that's it.
Right. So save and close the TRC file.
Okay.
Click load trace file again. Show values. Translation. Translation just gives you what it translates into. It's not 100% translated. There's an Excel file on there that you can modify it
right.
However you need. So at this point, you can actually, I like sorting it by name. So you can go to settings, sort by name, or sort list items. Now it's alphabetical.
Okay.
So if you know a particular value that you want to search for to change, click on the search button, or you can do Control F if you're a shortcut guy.
I'll just hit that. Okay.
So let's change our legal settings.
Legal.
So
Legal?
the startup disclaimer.
Right.
So in here it's called legal. So actually, what you want to do before you click the search button is you want to click on change it from start with to any part.
Sure. Just in case I'm not grabbing the first thing, I just happen to have it.
Right. No,
Understood. Okay.
So here, kind ID means no.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it. So we'll go ahead and click on changing it to no.
Just click on it, double click on it or something?
Just click on it. And you'll see the green dot move.
Sweet.
All right. You don't have a backup camera, do you?
I do not. I want one though.
Right.
We'll talk about that later.
So, you can do another Control F or, search again to make sure that those are legal, but I believe that's the only one you have.
Okay.
You don't have a camera.
Let's do a search. That's
Any
it.
part.
Search next.
Any part.
Oh, it didn't change it. Cam, nope, I don't have that. That's it.
Alright, so once you change as many values...
Now, before you go any farther here, okay, so yes, no, and then permanent. What is that? What is permanent?
I have no idea.
Alright. Okay.
No idea. So once you search through and you change everything you want to change, you click on Save Man File.
Save Man File, where are we at here? Oh, right there. Okay. Is there anything else in here we want to change while we're here?
So the only thing that's available to you right now, well, you got CLC, so you can do video and motion if you wanted to. You can add weather band radio. You can
weather band radio, nice. I don't necessarily want that, but because when weather comes here, you pretty much know about it.
Yeah. There's also an option to where you can change. You go from 6 to 8 buttons on your FM.
Oh yeah. I don't necessarily care about that because I don't use that.
I think that's all the basic ones off the top of my head.
Do you want to do video in motion right now, or you want to wait for that one?
Let's wait. It's
okay.
More complicated.
All right.
It's
so
more than just a couple of
right. I kind of figured as much. Okay, save man.
Yep, save man. It's going to ask you if you want to save a backup. You can either say yes or no.
Man file is saved. Do you want to backup? So this is going to be a backup. So this is going to be it's asking me if I want to save one before it writes. Is that what we're getting at?
Correct. It'll save what it was before you start editing.
Okay. Let's just do that, and we'll call it original. Original.
I personally don't do it. But
6. Well, yeah, you're substantially more experienced.
Yeah. Because when you're first coding it, all this essentially is going to allow you to do is code it back to the default settings.
Do you want to back up man file? Isn't that what it just asked?
No, you backed up a trace file. So,
oh, okay. And then this would be the same thing then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that expert mode that I told you about, we'll essentially do the same thing.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're done. And just in case you forget the instructions, it lists them right there in the coding tool itself.
Okay.
So it'll list exactly what you need to do. And it was like that when we first opened it up on how to actually pull in the data.
Okay.
So you can minimize the BMW coding tool now.
Okay.
Because it's already written the .man file to the work folder.
Okay, so that BMW coding tool didn't actually do anything to my car.
No.
We just opened it, edited it. This is solely an editing tool. That's
Correct.
it.
Correct.
Okay, good enough. All right.
So we go ahead and go back to NCS Expert. Click on Change Job. Alright, we're going to do SG Coderin.
SG Coderin. Oh. Yes, okay. All right,
Yep.
Okay.
Make one last... Let's try to get in the habit of making one last check and making sure you're on the right profile. Because if you've already done a lot of coding...
CNC coding?
Yeah,
Is that the profile you're speaking of? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one we need to be on.
Okay.
But if you've been doing a lot of coding and reset modules in the same session, and then they said you've already done a lot of coding in this module and you accidentally have the expert mode on there and you click execute for the job, this is going to reset everything back to
Okay.
Basically, try to do it all over again.
Right, I understand. Okay.
So at this point, you can click on F3, execute job. Just going to sit here and spin. And once the buttons are highlighted again, the job is done.
Now, how did it know what file to grab? Because we didn't tell it what file to grab.
It's automatically set up to grab the .man file.
And there's only one .man file in the folder that it's looking for.
Yep.
I want to go look at that before we start again.
Okay.
All right. So where is that .man file at?
Same folder we've been working in, work folder. It's right here. It's that one.
Okay, that one. And so that .man file will be updated constantly every time I do. So for you, when you work on a lot of cars, that man file is just the most recent file you've created out of the most recent car. Is that correct?
It is, and every time you do coding, you always want to make sure that man file is empty. There's nothing in it.
Okay. So you delete it out, or you delete the file?
No, and I'll show you how to do that. So go back to the BMW coding tool.
Okay.
They smartly designed this.
Okay.
So go ahead and close out the coding tool, and there'll be a pop-up. Do you want to empty the man file?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And it empties
Bam,
it.
done.
Yeah.
0 KB.
Yep.
Okay. Good. That's cool. All right.
And so if you later down the road you work on somebody's car and the man file doesn't get emptied, and you go to start code on your car some more, and you go to write it back to your car, and all of a sudden some errors start popping up saying it can't do what you're asking to do, it would be my suggestion is to go in your work folder where you're at, open up every single note tab file, delete everything out in it, so every file in there is 0K. You're not going to hurt anything by doing that, because NCS regenerates those files every time you open it up and run it. So that'll ensure when you're actually running NCS, it'll only be writing your data to those files.
Okay.
So it's a rare occasion that happens, but it's another thing to keep in mind.
Okay.
All right, so your CIC is rebooted. It's done. Changes are written to it. Good to go. So from here, all you need to do if you want to go work on the next module is click on F1, change ECU.
Okay.
Select the next one that we're going to do. We'll do an easy one. We'll do the one that's already selected, the JBBF.
Okay. Now, I assume there's a list out somewhere of what each of these are.
Yep.
And I assume these are probably German versions of short names of the modules.
There's a Joseph Jones document that he will give you.
All right.
Before you take off.
Okay.
And it tells you, lays out everything, where everything is.
Okay.
So from here, it's just the same process.
Which was what? Read ECU. Got it. All right, and then we're closing this. If you so chose, could you edit right here?
Yes. If you are hex-minded.
If you are hex-minded, yes. And that's how we did it in the Audi world. Somebody knew that this position with this value made the keys roll down the windows.
Yep, they are like video motion. I'll show you how to do that one. Video motion is set up that way. You got to edit a couple of hex keys.
Sure.
Increase in angel eye brightness beyond standard OEM 13.7 volts. You have to do it in here if you want to bump it up to 16.
Cool.
There's just all kinds of different values out there.
Okay. All right. So now we go back to that. I'm on the wrong place. Coding tool. Okay. Load trace file.
Nope. Chassis first.
Chassis. Yes.
Now you want to go back to NCS and make sure you're loading the correct file next to the chassis there.
Okay, that was right here.
Yep, and it's right here. That first one, the first named one right there.
JBBFE3R, is that C40? Okay. Wow.
Do you have headlight washers?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I scroll too much.
There's only going to be one value in here that will change that.
Can I just type right here, JBB?
Not in this. No.
What are we looking for? We're looking for JBB FE3R C40. FE. JBB FE3R C40. Okay.
Load trace.
Trace file.
Show values. Translation. All right.
Okay.
Go up to settings and we'll do a sort again. Settings, sort list items. For this one, it's all the way down to the bottom. It's cyclist something. So wiper complete cycle after you turn off the engine. So your wiper
finishes in the down position.
Right. So
okay.
There you go. Let's click active. The only other thing in here that people would normally ask for is turning the headlight washers off. The rest of it I've never messed with.
Okay.
So from here, just save it. And
what is that one? Do you know what that one is? Looks interesting. It's German, whatever.
You can change the cycles that your windshield wipers, like when you clean your windshield, you can change how many cycles it does.
Wash without wipe time. Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
2 milliseconds. Cool.
I've never messed with any of them.
Okay.
Any of them other than those two values.
So, is there an explanation of all of these as well?
Not all of them, no.
Most of them, but not all of them, probably.
Not even most of them.
Oh, really?
Not in this module. The only two that are really out there is, like I said, well, actually the third. I think you can probably find some limited data on how many windshield wiper cycles it takes when you spray your windshield. But
sure.
It's like way down at the bottom.
Okay.
So now you save man file again, and you can make it back up if you so choose or not.
Nah.
Same thing for this one.
Nah.
Alright, there again, the instructions are there in case you forget them. So we'll go back to NCS Expert. Change job.
Right?
Yep. SG coder in. Execute. Once the buttons are highlighted, again, the job is done.
Okay.
And you just keep repeating until you run out of crap you want to code. So go back to, we'll do your cluster.
Okay.
So
change ECU, right?
Combi. Yep.
Okay, reading ECU. Okay.
We'd be closing.
Close.
Make note of that file name.
Do I need to close out of this, or can I just go right into it?
You can just change your
Now, what about this man file? Because the man file is going to have some of the code in it from the last time we did this.
Right, but when you go to click Save Man File, it'll overwrite whatever was already in there.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. All right. And this was KMBI PL2C08 C08.
Yep.
KMBI C08. I think.
C08. PL2 C08.
Okay. Load trace.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, before you do this, because I already know you're going to have an error.
Okay.
Click on Settings and Unsort.
Settings, Unsort.
All right, load trace again. No, just load your trace file again.
Oh.
All right. Now, show values. There should be 3 lines down at the bottom.
Yep. Okay, so back to NCS Expert, work, trace file.
Trace file.
Trace file.
It's below the man.
Got it. And it's going to be the last 3 lines.
Yep.
And that's why you did the unsort, because it's all three of these.
Yep.
Got it.
There you go.
Make sure that space is out of there.
Yep. Save. Yep.
Okay.
Load trace file again. Now you can sort. If you, yeah, go ahead and sort, because there's a group of files that I want you to change in here. Translation. So now I'm going to show you how to get your digital speedo, so you can have the digital speed on your cluster. So we're going to be looking for the first characters of BC. Well, you can just scroll down, it's right there. That'll work too. Don't ask me why it doesn't necessarily always go to the first one. So scroll back up just a little bit.
Right there.
Yep. So
onboard digital speed display.
Yep. It's active. You can leave it on there if you want. The corrector one is the BMW corrected speed. So you're about 3% over what you're actually going. So if you disable the corrector, your digital speed will be your true speed.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to disable it or not.
Ooh.
If you disable it, it won't match your gauge. I said it'll be your true speed.
It won't match the gauge?
No, it will not match your needle.
Right, the needle. Okay, interesting.
Because that says you'll be getting your true speed. And there's no way to correct that needle, because it's analog.
Okay, well then let's do that, because it won't really matter, and now I know my... Okay, so now I'm going to get, because of this, I'm going to get a digital readout of my miles per hour, but this is going to mean that it's not using, the digital readout will be my actual, as opposed to the adjusted, which is what my needle is going to be as well.
Correct.
Got it.
So scroll down one more, there's a corrector. I don't know, this says analog, but I changed it to not active anyway.
Okay.
It ain't going to make a hill of beans of difference.
Okay. Enable speed limit warning. Apparently does that apply for my car?
Yes. You probably have it turned off though.
No, it's active.
No, there's another setting where you actually tell the speed you want it to go off on.
Got it. Oh yes, that's within the computer.
Yeah.
Yep, I got you now.
What else is in here? Instantaneous gas mileage, fuel efficiency. Is in here. You can turn your cluster lights always on.
Temperature warning is annoying as hell, but that says it's not active.
Yeah, mine's not active too, and it still goes off, so I haven't quite figured out how to turn it completely off. If you want your key and ignition gone, that's what that one is.
Trying to decide if I want that or not, because I kind of like it when I leave it in there. But you know what? My key's hardly ever in the ignition because it's comfort access, so I'll leave it on. What was the one that you were just talking about? The instant fuel mileage?
It's a digital KVA. Digital underscore. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to make it so it doesn't take so long before it tells fuel consumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time, for most people, it's active. I'm surprised yours is not. You can also enable. No, you got navigation in there. That's pretty much all the basics in here.
Time from GPS is active. Yeah.
If you ever need to turn off your TPMS, there's a couple settings in here you got to turn off. If you ever have to turn off your SOS for whatever reason, the settings are in here to turn it off.
Okay. Sensitivity.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. If you don't have nav, you can actually control your headlight sensitivity through there, but you can't since you got nav.
Fuel tank decreasing. Fuel tank settling time. I'm assuming this is fuel filter decreasing. I'm assuming there's one where it says fuel tank something other the warning, low fuel warning.
Yep, you can.
Where's that one?
Here, a lot of people mess with that one. I personally haven't done it. I don't remember what the value is off the top of my head.
My problem with this car is that it goes off too soon.
For most people.
Yep, it's great, but it's like 65 miles, so I can drive for like 3 days with it, so it's not that great.
Yeah. I would have to Google it, to be honest. Right?
Okay. Alright, so that's it. Save man file.
There's the...
Oh, speed limit warning. Yeah, no, it's not active, so I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Alright, save man file.
Yep.
New. Okay, and then I get out of this, and then I execute job, right?
No,
I just about screwed up. Change job.
No, you wouldn't screw up too much. You just lost the mark.
Okay. So if I had hit execute job right there, it would have just written my man file from the last time.
No, because it's like coder and data lesson.
Right.
It would just reread your file again.
You just reread it?
Yeah.
And just blanked out everything I just did.
Yeah, and you'd have to just start all over.
But just the most recent change, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Coder and yep, and then execute job.
Yep. So after you do your cluster, you'll have to reset your date and time, and if not, you'll get a little triangle with a warning sign on there telling you that you gotta reset it.
Okay.
So now, to see this, you would use your BC button over on the start.
Right.
Scroll through till you see a V equals. There you go. There's your digital speed.
Okay. All right. Cool. Sounds good. Okay, so I am done. I gotta change ECU again. All right, which one should we do now?
So we'll have your sunroof closed when rain detected. That's
a cool one. I definitely want to do that one, and I want to do keys to the windows.
Yeah.
Open and closing windows.
Yeah, that one's a little more drawn out, so I'll save it toward the end.
Okay.
So, FZD, that is your sunroof module.
ECU. Okay.
Coding tool. This one, there's only one file in here for you to choose from.
Oh, well then you can tell me which one it is, because I totally didn't read it the last time.
No, that's fine. There's only one in there. Find FZD in the list. There's only one.
Oh, got it.
C06.
Past it, I think. There it is.
Alright.
Load trace.
Yeah.
Show values. Translation.
Just go down to the R's.
Down to the R's. S. Oops. My alphabet is out of order.
There's your two values.
Okay. Okay, so this is closed sunroof with automatic rain sensor. Yeah, we want that. Now, why would they ever have that off? That's just awesome.
I don't know. Now, what this is not, it will not close it if you're inside and the car is turned off and all of a sudden it starts raining. It's not that. A lot of people have an impression that it'll just, oh, it's raining. And
it'll think that the windows will close if it's in the garage?
Yeah.
Why would they think that?
I don't know.
Why would you want that even if it was? Alright, whatever.
You know, a lot of people want to be inside the house, and if it starts raining and they forget their sunroof's open, they think it'll just close by itself.
Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I'm missing it, because here's what I assume it is. If I'm at work and I've left the sunroof open,
it won't happen.
So what does it do then?
If you're driving and your auto wipers are on, and your auto wipers makes 2 cycles, it'll close it. To me, at that point, I already know it's raining. I'm going to close my sunroof.
Yeah, I can handle closing my sunroof.
So yeah, that's essentially what you're turning on here. But
close.
Alright,
whatever.
It ain't gonna hurt anything by turning it on or leaving it on.
No, it's not, because I'll be closing my sunroof if it's raining.
I can show you how to test that real quick too once we get out. But
no big deal.
So that's the only thing you can really change.
Only thing in here, huh?
Yeah, unless You do have auto dimming mirrors. There's auto dimming in here if you wanted to turn that off.
No, I love my auto dimming mirrors. That's an addiction by the way, right there. By the way.
Yeah, I retrofitted auto dimming into my car.
My S4 had it, and then something happened, and the fluid that caused it to auto dim in the mirror leaked out one day. Yeah, there's a fluid in there. I couldn't believe it. There's like a drop of oil right here, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then all of a sudden, my auto dimming was gone. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. I don't even know how it works, but there was a fluid in there. I'm not joking. It's crazy.
Wow.
Anyway, after having that auto dimming and then losing it was just like, oh my god, I can't deal with that. This is an addiction.
Turn the clown nose.
Yeah. So there's nothing in here about like what was the one? The remote. This isn't controlled here.
Nope. That's all like CAS and FRM.
All right. Good enough.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good.
Yep.
So it is save man file.
Yep.
No. Minimize. Change job. Code run. Execute job.
You may want to be wary of on your battery too, the longer we sit here.
Okay.
You can code while the car is running. No big deal. Your only danger there is carbon
monoxide.
Yeah, monoxide. Keep that and dioxide mixed up.
Okay, we're back up to good.
Yep.
Change ECU.
Yep. Alright. We'll go ahead and do we'll do CAS next.
Okay.
We'll get into some of the stuff that we wanted.
Alright. Read ECU. Jeez, I just about forgot what I was doing there. Close that one. Since it's a small one then. Alright, that's CAS 3C09.
Yep.
Alright. CAS 3C09. Load trace. Show values. Okay.
Alright, so here's another example. You got your stuff sorted. So, yep, unsort, load trace again. There you go. And it should be like the last two.
Okay.
Can't tell that I got this memorized.
Yeah, I can. Alright. Yeah, I bet you do this all the time, don't you? Okay, just to make sure here, we're going to pull this back up. HVer modus and TC ignore eng run. Okay, yep. Those are the two.
No, not asking why it's like this. I've asked people and you have to give an answer. It's just the way it is.
Okay. Save. Okay, load trace again. Show values, good to go. Translation, good to go. Okay.
Sort.
Settings, sort list items. Okay.
Alright, so with what you want to do, I've just found it easier to do a search for the word comfort.
Okay.
Spelled with a K.
Okay. Search comfort. Okay.
Alright, so this dumps you in the middle of all your comfort settings.
Okay.
Scroll back up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It doesn't go to the first one for some reason. I wonder if that's because it's sorted and it doesn't know that. KM or KO? Is it what do we care about? KM FRT or K?
No, we're going to do KOM.
Okay.
Okay, so there's all different kinds of settings in here.
Okay.
You can have.
I like this one though.
I'll go ahead and scroll back up. I'll start with the top one here. So this one right here. This is where if you wanted to push the button and it kicks your key out, which is, oh, by the way, what triggers unlocking your doors.
Hang on just a second. You push what, the start button? Stop button?
Yeah, push the stop button.
Okay.
So it actually works a little backwards. Work 1, value 1 is actually you would have to hold the button in longer.
Okay.
All the way down to work 5, value 5, where it's instant. You push it and it kicks the key out.
I'm assuming that's probably what I want, right?
Depends.
Why would I want it to wait any longer?
And like like if you're a person that pulls up to the parking lot and you like to listen to your music with your car off, as soon as you turn your car off, it's going to kick your key out, so you have to push your key back in.
But this value 3 is like...
It's like 2 seconds.
2 seconds anyway.
A second and a half, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Value 4 is about a half a second.
Yeah.
So
fast is good for me. I can deal with fast.
All right. So.
Comfort EIN.
No idea.
Okay.
All right. So comfort eject when the key is off. You want to active. So this is actually activating what you just changed up there.
Okay.
And the rest of these are how your car operates with your fob.
Okay.
So I would just turn them all.
This was already on?
Opening, yes. Every car comes with it, so where you can open it.
No kidding.
And you cannot, however, usually close. That one's usually turned off.
Interesting.
Actually.
Yeah.
So that's weird. Anyway, so the next one's what you want to turn on.
Okay.
With your fob.
And what button is this on the fob? Because is it
closing is lock. Closing, lock, unlock.
I've got remote start. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't know what it's going to do.
Okay, we'll test it.
Okay, anyway.
Scroll down. Do you have comfort access?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll also be able to do this with your comfort access.
Do what with my comfort?
Anything
touch on the button?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Alright. So now we're done with the comfort stuff. So there's one more setting that you need to change in here, and so if you do a search for key out, all one word. You may have to have it go back up. There you go. Alright, you want to activate this. This will unlock your doors whenever the key ejects.
It'll unlock all my doors when the key ejects. Okay, sure. Right, so I don't have to push the unlock button for, yeah, got it.
Or do the double pull.
Right, right.
Alright, and that's pretty much it for the CAS.
Okay.
If you ever do a battery swap, if you have to get a different type of a battery, so let's say right now you got a wet acid battery and you want to go to an AGM, this is the module you go in and change the value.
So this is where battery coding happens then? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Yes, CAS, okay.
Yeah,
I already had to pay for that once. Kind of displeased about that. But anyway. Save man file. No. Okay. Going to NCSX. No, NCS coding. Change job. G coder in. Okay, execute job. That was fast.
Alright. I'll let you do the FRM yourself.
Okay. So, change ECU. FRM.
And FRM probably.
And FRM? Am I missing it? What the heck? There it is. Okay. Read ECU. This one seems a little bigger.
FYM takes the longest of all the modules. It's got the most data in it.
Okay. Never read it. FRM3. Actually, I can just do this. I don't know why I don't. FRM3 E89 C32. Okay, load trace, show values. Alright, list.
It's gonna be a whole slew of them.
Load trace, great. I kind of guessed that based on the size. Show values. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so let's go find the first one.
Color switch.
Indeed, okay. Back to that document. FSW, PSW. Scroll down to color switch and delete everything after that.
Yep.
What happens if I didn't delete that last space? What would I see?
I think when you try to load the trace file again, it'll probably error out.
Okay.
It happened to me only one time. It took me a minute to figure out what was going on.
Okay.
It may work. I don't know.
Loading trace. Show values looks good. Looks good. Translation looks good.
Alright, so
Settings, sort items.
So
Okay.
here you want to do a search for comfort again.
KOM port. Not found any part. Okay.
This is where you're going to control your mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Outside mirror closing with remote. Okay, so I'm guessing it tips them in.
Yeah. Do you have auto folding? Do you have power folding mirrors?
I assume so. I think so.
Is there a button on the door?
Yeah, there is.
Alright, then you're good.
Okay.
A lot of people think this is magic and it makes non-folding mirrors fold. Alright, so, I mean, essentially for your comfort stuff, that's it.
Okay.
You will spend more time in this module right here customizing than you probably would any other module.
Okay.
This is the one that controls all your lighting. So whether you want to delete the amber lights in the corner, whether you want to turn the sign markers off on your fender,
right,
whether you want fog lights to come on when you unlock the car, whether you want your tail lights not to come on when you unlock the car,
right.
Do you want visual confirmation when you lock or unlock your car?
Yeah, visual and audio for all I care.
Well, you won't have audio unless you have an alarm module.
Darn. Okay.
But
visual would be, well, but visual's probably already on. It's just...
Does it blink when you walk in?
Yeah, it does, but man, in the sun, I hardly ever see it.
Yeah, well, if it's on, it's on.
Yeah, alright.
What else?
Okay, so what do we got here to change? What can I search for? Is there anything that everyone does?
So here's a cool one, Euro flashers. So we'll go to the D's. Scroll down to the D's.
Okay.
Keep scrolling down. It's like Doppel something. Oh, I think you passed it already. Very good. So the double impose flashers turns into Euro flashers, so they pulse twice instead of just single flash.
I'm okay with not using that because anything else in daytime running lights?
Here's the other one. So your windows, if you're trying to roll them up and then you open your door, they stop.
Yeah.
We can code that off. So do a search for stop underscore mount, M-A-U-T. And it's just named something different in different modules, so that's a safe way to do it. Do one more search.
Did I do the wrong one?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Go up. Okay.
That's really great if you have if you don't have a door sill on top, because the old M3, the M3 that it did that, and that was important when it didn't have the E36 didn't have a frame up there.
You can also have. Do you have fog lights?
Yes, I do.
I can't remember. So you can have your fog lights with your high beams. You can have fog lights with flash to pass.
Fog lights with flash to pass. What is that?
You know, like you pull the stalk to turn your high beams on, but it's not activating your high beams. That's the flash to pass.
Ah, cool.
So it won't turn your fog lights off if you use that.
I'm actually okay with that, because sometimes I use it for another.
Right there.
Sometimes I use it to flash people about Popo, and I want them to see it, as opposed to flashing fog lights. That's what you mean, right?
Right now, the way it's set up, if you do your flash to pass, your fog lights will turn off.
Oh, nah, I don't care about that. Whatever. Don't care. Follow me home lights. Cool. Anything else in here?
So this is where all your bulb
Cold
checks
monitoring.
are. Yeah, so if you ever get a bulb, you replace your bulbs
Right.
with aftermarket, and you
Right.
get an error because they're not pulling enough juice.
That's
Come in here and turn
the
off.
place.
Yep.
Okay.
There's actually a check control.
Yeah.
Which is the CC underscore whatever for the light. You got your cold monitoring, and then you have your hot monitoring. You need to turn all three of them off. You may not have check control for all of them, or you don't have it. Just depends on which light you're looking for. So one of the other cool features you can do, but it's done through hex, is you can change your one touch turn signal blinks anywhere from like 1 to 7.
Okay. Fog light replaces defective brake light. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. You actually do have rear fog lights. You have the bulbs back here, but it's not activated in the car. And I can, we could do that if you wanted them.
Cool, but until I get in a wreck and have somebody rear end me out. But it's good to know.
It's actually a hardware modification.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What year is this?
2010.
You may already have the little Lego piece in there. You just got to break off the little pieces.
Really? That's funny. All right.
So this is basically anything that controls your windows. This controls all of your lights.
Okay. Everybody likes turning off the side markers. I don't necessarily see the point, or the point of turning off your front corners.
It just makes it a sleeker look when you're going down the road.
Okay, what's angel eyes as daytime running lights?
Oh, for this one, when people want that coded, they want it setting to the setting you have now.
Okay.
Where it's angel eyes only for your
daytime running
lights.
lights. So, and what are the other ones? High beam, low beam?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's mainly for people that do LCI conversions.
Gotcha.
Or go from halogens to xenons.
Right.
There's all your hot monitoring for your bulbs. And then after that, you'll get into your welcome light configuration, which is all the lights that turn on and off whenever you unlock the door.
Okay. Brake force light. Brake lights. License plate lights. Lights on when welcome home. Okay. I'll have to read more of these and think about them a little bit more, but I think I'm good. So, save man file. No. Change job. SG coder in. Execute job.
This one says it takes the longest.
It's writing a lot.
Yeah.
Understood. Did it just turn those lights on?
Yeah, when you code your FRM, your lights will blink.
Okay.
And your headlights may turn on.
Okay. If I screwed with them, probably.
Actually, no. You should have. Your lights should have blinked. That's weird.
Okay.
Alright.
They'll turn off eventually, though, right?
No.
They'll just stay like this?
Well, until you restart the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
So you want to do a quick start? Make sure.
Okay. Kicked it out. Wow, it does come out quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. So let's say it's instant. So if you're one that I like to sit in the parking lot and listen to the radio.
Sure.
So
just don't turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. So that's pretty much all of the standard stuff.
Okay.
So now you're getting a little trickier. Let's do your video on motion.
Okay, let's do something else here quick.
Alright.
that.